Hello, I'm Valentina Isis, the goddess of astrology, and welcome to this episode of Love and Relationships for the sign of Gemini. Now, we're going to be talking about how does a Gemini love? How can you make your Gemini fall in love with you? How do you know when your Gemini is over you? How can you make your Gemini madly in love with you? Well, you're going to find out all about this in this episode, and also, just so you know, this works if you have your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or Venus, or Mars in the sign of Gemini. Also, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend who's a Gemini and you just want to find out how you can actually get in tune with them, this is perfect for you. Or for anybody who wants to know a little bit about themselves and how is it that they actually love in relationships, for any Gemini out there, this is the video for you. So let's start right now. Alright, my beautiful Geminis, so let's get to it. This is a very, very complex thing. Gemini love is a very complex thing. Why? Because Gemini is the most complex character out of the whole zodiac. Okay? I see a lot of memes where, Geminis get a lot of dirt, Geminis get a lot of things on them and a lot of, bad rep. But because of their dual personality and because of all of this and all of that. But just so you know, I'm going to tell you a little secret about the Geminis. Gemini in esoteric astrology, which means in the astrology within the sign, it's not in the outside of the sign. It's almost like the spirituality of the sign. It's actually the sign of Gemini is actually ruled by the planet Venus, which means that Geminis are actually very, 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 very much involved with relationships. They love relationships. They're the twins. They love the one-on-one relationship. They are always looking for their soulmate, their twin flame. They're always looking for this, always and constantly. This is something that is always beaming inside of them, to go and relate, to go and share, to go and interact. In what better way than with a person that you love? So Geminis are very, very loving creatures. They are very understanding, because one of their biggest flaws is to be misunderstood. They hate being misunderstood. So they themselves are very understanding people. They forgive a lot, let's just say that. They definitely forgive a lot, especially because Geminis just can't hold a grudge. They can throw a fit like a little kid and, change out of nowhere, but they're not the people that are going to be holding a grudge on you. They're not the people who are going to be, never forgiving you for something. They usually forgive you for everything. And if they do actually get into some sort of outburst, like a kid, they forget about it in 5 minutes later. That's why people think that it's like, oh man, you're what are you, two people in one? Yes, but at the same time, it's just, we're air. It's an air energy. We're not going to be holding on to nothing. We have better things to do. We're supposed to be light. We can't be carrying all these grudges around us just to, no. We need movement. We need to be light. So other things about the Gemini is, because of it, it's very mercurial, it's very changeable, it's very quick, it's very fast. The body part that they rule is the nervous system, and the nervous system is the fastest electric shot lightning part of your whole body, like reflexes. Like something happens and your reflex moves before you even consciously said, oh, move my hand out of the fire, So they're very, very fast. And because of this, they can be scattered. They definitely need a lover that can focus them. Not a lover that can oppress them, but a lover that can naturally focus them, that can focus their energy, because they can be very fragmented, that can focus their mind. Because the Gemini actually rules the third house of the mind, the house of expression, the house of how do you perceive things in the world? What is your perception on life? So all of this has to do with mental ability. And it's very important for the Gemini to have a very good mental energy. That's why they might have this kid-hearted energy, this energy of lightheartedness, of kid energy, because if they get too serious in their mind, they start becoming kind of weird, like Donald Trump. So it's very important that the Gemini keeps a childlike nature, a youthful energy, and they usually have a youthful appearance about them, and they have a youthful energy about them, because it's keeping their mind sane. It's keeping their mind in a good state, which lets them have better relationships, which lets them bring out that part of them that is so charming and so awesome that people really, really admire. They're entertainful because of this. They're very good at copying. They're very good at mimicking. They make great actors. They're very stimulative and talkative. They always want to have like a mental stimulation. They're all about the intelligence, all about like what is it that I can learn with you. A lot of people think that Geminis are big flirts, but it's not that. It's just that whenever somebody's interesting, the Gemini will lean in and be like, "Oh, what are you all about? I like that. Can you teach me more? Oh, gotta go," and then they go somewhere else. So don't take it as like a flirting. It's just they're being entertained mentally. Okay, if your Gemini is physically with you, having sex with you and being with you, they're with you. But with other people, they just like to learn from others. They like to interact and they like to learn from others. They're very clever, very charming, very witty, inconsistent, unpredictable. These people definitely keep you on your toes. Definitely keep you like get in the roller coaster and don't ask questions, like that type of thing. Like just go in and enjoy the ride. That's it. Very versatile, very talented, very good with their hands. They pick up things very fast. Very cerebral, very broad-minded, and very dramatic too. And changeable. So all of these things come into their energy of relationships. All of these things come into that, and they're kind of like the motto of like, I'm here today and gone tomorrow. So one of the things that happens with Gemini, Gemini energy, especially Gemini Venus, like the way that you love, is that there could be in one spot. Let's say they're in a relationship, and it was exciting for the beginning, and then out of nowhere things kind of got a little predictable, and that's when the Gemini attention starts kind of heading somewhere else, and then they're like, wait, I'm here with this person, but what if I'm supposed to be with that person? So then they end up in this thing where they're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't know, should I not, should I keep? And then they don't end up ever giving 100% into a relationship. So that's one of the lessons that Geminis really, really need to learn. This soulmate, this twin flame that you're looking for in your life, that you're so desperately wanting to find, is the person that is with you. Is that person. And this excitement and this energy that you're looking for can only be built if you give it 100% into the relationship. It's never going to be built and it's never going to be satisfying if you have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because then the evolution can't truly happen. And then you kind of get like, okay, well, I'm just going to be in this place until maybe another person who's better might come along, and then I'll jump over there. Like, no, it's never going to happen. So if you have this habit, just break it off. Break it completely. It's gonna lead you nowhere. It's gonna lead you nowhere. Take control over your situation and say, no, I'm gonna be in this. I said I was gonna be in this, and that's it. And when you choose somebody that can stimulate truly everything about you, that even if things get a little monotonous, you can always go to the person and be like, hey, why don't we go out and do something fun? And they're like, hey, sure, let's go for the adventure. Boom. And then you go and have the adventure. So don't go for the people who are too square. Don't go for, don't go for those. Try to be more, try to go for the more stimulating people that can keep up with you, okay? That are also looking for that stimulation just like you want it. Because you need to keep up with their mind, okay? If you're a person that likes a Gemini and you can't keep up with their mind, you're gonna be blown off. So this is a necessity that they need to have. They're very eccentric, creative people. And they adore, because of this, they adore the openness and the glamour. So they could be very charming, they could be very glam, they could be very, the life of the party. They're very, very eccentric and open and creative. It wants to display multifaceted knowledge and wisdom. That's really what the Gemini wants to do. The Gemini wants to get to a point where it can demonstrate, like, look at everything that a person can be in one. That's why they love the university and they love school, because it's like 8 different subjects that are being all taught at the same time, tests at the same time, and they're passing them all at the same time. They love that. They love that their energy can be pushed to those limits, and that they can really learn more and more and more, and that they can display this multifaceted knowledge of wisdom. Their fickleness is legendary because of this. Yes, the fickleness is legendary because they're like the ADD of the zodiac, you know, like they just have short attention span. You know, there needs to be a lot of stimulation. Listen, if you want if you want to have your Gemini really entertained, just having a book around you guys. Like, let's say you guys go on a date, and it's always the same thing, and you're starting to see her boring. Just start carrying a book with you, like of a subject that you both like. And whenever, just pull it out and be like, hey, listen, I'm learning about this and I'm learning about that. And that's it. That's all she needs. That's all he needs. A little bit of stimulation, a little bit of learning, a little bit of like, let's go find out. Let's go figure it out. Let's learn more, you know? Let's see. She likes or loathes. She's not it's not, he or she is not a person that, you know, is like in the middle. It's a person that either loves immensely or just not, you know, or loathes, because they really follow their intuition and insight. They trust their insight a lot. They can perceive. They're very observant. They pick up a lot. You're dealing with very intelligent people. They're one of the most intelligent of the whole zodiac sign. Sometimes they're legendary for kind of being like, well, I'm smarter than you, especially the guys. They're like, well, I'm smarter than you. So this sometimes can get annoying, but the Gemini really is just a person who's very smart, and they want to display how much do they actually know. And because of this, they trust very deeply their judgment, their insights. They trust their insights totally. They need comfort. They do need comfort. Think of it as like a kid, okay? The Gemini is the child of the zodiac. It needs the protection, it needs the comfort of the parents and the security of the house, but at the same time it needs the space to explore, to go and jump in the mud, to, you know, wreck the room, to explore themselves. They need to have that energy. So a person that gives them the security but the space to kind of go and explore, like a safe space for them to explore and enjoy themselves, this is something that they definitely love. Also, the same thing, you know, the same metaphor goes for when they throw a fit, like a kid. When the kid throws a fit, screams, cries, oh my gosh, like, and then out of nowhere the kid just laughs. So it's that. Don't ever take it too hard. Don't ever take it so seriously. On the contrary, you know, Osho said once, I prefer people who let their outburst come out, because you should really be afraid of the people that hold the outburst inside and they don't do anything about it. That's usually the people who, I don't know, where they're just going to explode one day. So, you know, which one do you prefer? And they also learn a lot about the person that they're with. The Gemini can learn deeply about the person that they're with. Very, very deeply. Like I said, they're very understanding. They have an intense understanding for people. And just by listening to them, just by seeing them, they're very observant. Like, Geminis are five steps ahead of you in like 5 different probabilities of how things could turn out to be. So yes, they have the tendency of assuming, you know, but encourage them to ask questions, and they will ask the questions. They will try not to assume. But it's very important to not let the Gemini's imagination just go off, okay? Also, if your Gemini gets quiet, red flag, okay? If the Gemini is not out here talking and stimulating and relating and stuff, they're in here torturing the crap out of themselves, okay? So it's very important that you snap them out. Hey, no, tell me, talk to me. What's going on? What are you thinking? No, that's not the truth. I'm not with anyone. No. That's a made-up story. No, none of that is happening. Because when they're quiet, they're making a huge movie in their heads that they're truly believing. Geminis out there, please be very, very careful, because you guys have the strongest minds. The strongest minds that whatever you perceive will turn into reality. And you know this has happened to you. So please, control your thoughts. Make them go into something beautiful and nice and gorgeous for yourself. Because if you start getting dark, then the world will turn dark. You are the living manifesto of that. They don't like to show their vulnerabilities. There is something about them that is kind of mysterious. They always want to show like their happy side. They don't want to show their ugly side, especially because they know that they have this whole rep of like, oh, you're two people in one, and even when they can't control it, it comes out. But they're kind of afraid of showing their vulnerabilities a little. They sometimes don't listen because they like to gossip. So, teach them how to listen. Teach them how to listen in a better way. Teach them to listen. Remind them to listen. That listening is good. It's part of the interaction of speaking and communication. This is something that they need to be conscious of. They need things to be in the light, and needs to be moving. Something about like movement. They love movement. Maybe dancing with them. This is something that definitely they love. They just love to feel the movement around them. Dazzle them with new experiences. That's all they care about. Like, dazzle them with new experiences. Even if you just take them to the museum, they love that. Even if you take them to Barnes and Nobles, they will love that. Just going through the books, just learning things. Oh, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at this other thing. Like, they just want to learn new things. Think of it if it was like a kid, the kid that always is asking why. Like, that's kind of how their energy is. Ages very slowly and very gracefully. Gemini women, especially, and Gemini men will always have a youthful look about them. Always, 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 always a youthful energy about them. They always look younger than their years, and they have a childlike inner energy about them that you never want them. You never want that to die. You never really want those things to die. Their biggest dilemma is that they have to say no to one and say yes to another. Like I said, really, fuse this thing in you. Don't split yourself. It hurts. It hurts. It doesn't gonna lead you to the love of your life. That love that you're searching for, and that perfect relationship is not gonna come unless you just give it 100% to a situation and see what comes out of the evolution of that. Because they start feeling guilty when they discard one and they go for the other. So you just need to you need to learn how to be decisive. That's really the whole thing about it at the end of it all. It's the Achilles heel of the Gemini, that sometimes they have so many options and they want to try everything that they end up becoming indecisive. So again, this comes into their love energy. Then there needs to be a decision made. There needs to be a full commitment made so they can actually see that love flourish that they really want. They have a talent for making things light and adding excitement to the dull lives of people. They have a talent for that. So Geminis, Geminis are people that are always going to give you a fun time. They're always going to be teaching you something. They're always going to be giving you adventures, bringing your hopes up, bringing a smile in your face. They really are that energy that is like, come on, there's nothing to worry. Let's go play. Let's go enjoy ourselves. Let's go learn something. We can have fun, and that's all we need. We just need to be in this lightheartedness and this energy. It doesn't have to be dull. It doesn't have to be consistent. It doesn't have to be repetitive. Life is full of versatility. Life is full of many flavors that you can go and experiment and taste. So this is the relationship that you're going to get. They're the best people to travel with. Best people to have adventures with. They're always up for anything. They're flexible. They'll take the lead if they need to, and they'll let other people lead if they want to. They're super energetic. They have a lot of energy, and they're just ready to explore the world. Okay? And as a lover, if you can help them, not get fragmented, if you can help them and encourage them to be more decisive in their life, if you can help them and encourage them to be more grounded and to find more peace, like if you're a person that teaches them to once in a while maybe meditate, this could be something very healthy for them. Very, very healthy for them. Also, the mental stimulation. These people will always forgive your mistakes, will always love you. They definitely have this. The only Achilles heel in this situation is getting boring and dull, getting in a consistent thing where you just don't want to change, and getting into an energy that is just not fun anymore. They just want to have that ability to create more complexity and more excitement. Just, talk to your Gemini about this. you in yourself really see within yourself how is it that you can manage this, how is it that you can control your fragmentation, control your thoughts. That's really where the key is at. Okay, it's all in your head, Gemini. It really is all in your head. The other day I saw a beautiful meme that it was like a universe with a human being, and the universe was holding the face of the human being saying, I got you. I got you. Just control your mind. And it's practically that. For the Gemini is the epitome of that. Your relationship can turn into the most beautiful relationship if you believe it to. You can believe your way through anything. You can think your way through anything. So when you start having doubting moments, when you start questioning like, oh my God, is this the guy I should be with? Or is this the girl I should be with? You by your own hand are shooting yourself in the foot. You need to keep the beautiful light of the person. You need to keep the good thoughts. You need to keep the good positive energy, the good perception. The good perception, that's what's going to lead you to what you really, really want. But not, don't start questioning too many things and then having too many doubts. Those venoms are the worst venoms that you can have in your relationship, and that's when you become fickle, that's when you become fragmented, that's when you become guilty, that's when you're like, should I be with him, should I be with that, should I be with this other person, I don't know who I want to be, I don't know who should I be with, why is this happening to me? You can tackle it through that little spot of just practicing and getting a hold over your thoughts and really choosing what is it that I really want to think of. Remember, what you put attention to grows. So to learn how to manage your focus into things could be very powerful for a Gemini. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for letting me do this episode for the love and relationships for the Gemini sign. I hope this was of help to you, for you to learn a little bit more about yourself, for you to learn a little bit more about your loved ones. Thank you so much for the likes, the shares, and the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say about your love relationships with the Gemini, or you as a Gemini, how was your relationships overall? What have you learned? We'd love to hear that about you. Thank you so much for everything, guys, and for following me and my other social media places. I love you so much, and I'll be seeing you for the next episode. Habibi.